Another home game, and hopefully another opportunity to try and bag these 3 points. On paper, we're doing all the right things, like we're ranking in the top 4 for many data metrics. However, when you look at the game from a practical perspective, the game isn't solely based on data and what you're analyzing afterwards. My issue that I see is that I see a team that tries to be too meticulous when it comes to scoring and creating chances, and this is why I feel like it doesn't necessarily work, because over the past 12 months, not only are we not winning games, but we are dramatically failing when it comes to scoring. That's been our biggest issue now for years at this football club. And for a team that doesn't know how to score, I don't see how it helps them, where they have to create these like meticulous opportunities in front of goal and then somehow have like the mental composure to put the ball in the back of the net. I kind of feel like it's very counterproductive. And as you realize in all our games this season, we start very strong, but then as the game goes on, as we're chasing to get back into that, the opportunities, the football, and everything starts to reduce. And I kind of feel like tomorrow against Aston Villa, this is the opportunity now to take the game to our opponents. I think Villa are always like a very interesting matchup. Recently, they've had a good record against us at home. Now, ever since that 3-0 win against them, we haven't won a game of football, and I feel like that definitely has to change. And with Aston Villa, this season, they've been okay. 3 wins, 2 losses, no draws. And against teams that are better than them, they have been losing. But against teams they're better against, they obviously pick up the wins, right? And I feel like when you break down how Villa play, they play the type of football that's been punishing us all season. Now, we know that they like to use their wide counter-attacking threat, and most of the goals we're conceding are coming from wide counter-attacking moments. But one particular weakness that Aston Villa have is the fact that they are very susceptible to through balls in behind them. I feel like their team shape isn't necessarily perfect, hence why they do get punished by the bigger teams. And obviously when they commit their men forwards, you have the opportunity to attack their fullbacks in the spaces in behind. So for me, Mauricio Pochettino, please field a team tomorrow that wants to win the game, that is aggressive. I want to see you use your tactics that have been performing well on paper. I want you to use them when we have the leads. Use your man management skills to control how the game ends. And as I keep stressing, I just don't feel like we are good enough with this very young team to be able to prioritize getting clean sheets and wins. I don't think you can have the best of both worlds right now. We have to work towards that. And I think that if we take the game to Villa properly, if we support our attacking players in the final third, I think we could actually punish them and get what we finally deserve this season. So my friends, I'm going to be breaking down the press conference, team news, match predictions and predicted lineups. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit that like button. But before we get into anything, today's video is brought to you by Parry Match UK. Quick question, my friends, but how do you like the chance to win a £50 free bet? Well, Parry Match UK have recently launched their new completely free-to-play football prediction game called Hat-Trick Hunt. That means that each week you'll get the chance to predict 3 scores from the Premier League with 3 rewards for each correct prediction that you make. Get all 3 correct and you will be rewarded with a £50 free bet. It really is that simple. So as you guys can see, this week I'm going for Burnley to draw against Man United. I think United's form is awful right now. I'm going for a high scoring draw against Arsenal and Spurs. I kind of feel like most times in these London derbies, you see quite a lot of goals. And for my final prediction, I'm going for a 2-1 win against Aston Villa. And that's probably the most ambitious prediction out of all 3 in my opinion. So my friends, do you agree with any of my predictions? If you would like to get involved yourself, click on the link below. Of course, you must be 18 plus or over to play, and you'll find full terms and conditions, of course, applied in the description. So thank you to Parry Match for sponsoring today's video. So let's start with the team news, and it does seem like we finally have some positive team news to discuss right now, because 4 players are set to make their returns. Cucurella is now back for match selection alongside Noni Madueke. Now, we learned that Cucurella had a virus last week, which makes a lot of sense, and it's good that Noni now is fully fit to play again too. Even better news, there is a massive possibility that Armando Broja could be getting minutes tomorrow against Aston Villa, and wow, what a comeback for him. It's been a very difficult and hard time, but I rate this guy for how much hard work and graft that he's putting in to get back fully fit. Still, he is very young, and I agree with Pochettino not mounting too much pressure on him, because now it's about getting your instincts of the game back right now. So I hope that all of us are going to be patient and allow him to come back, because I know this fan base and patience, these are two words that never align together properly. But to end with things, my friends, Caicedo is also a strong possibility. He will be assessed today for tomorrow. And to end on even better news, Reece James, Chukwuemeka, Badiashile and Chalobah, they aren't too far away now from training again with the first team. So hopefully within the next 4 weeks, Pochettino gets a full strength team to play with, and then we can really assess things in greater detail. So my friends, that's the team news out of the way, and let's quickly dissect the key points from the press conference. And Pochettino reveals that he has the full support from the sporting directors and the owners. And I'm going to sound cynical, but I'm sorry. If your sporting directors have actively took control in creating the squad for you, obviously they're going to need to have some patience, right? So it's nice that all these guys are at least aligning the vision together right now. In terms of our lack of goal threat, our poor goal scoring form, Pochettino revealed that he is frustrated. Of course, key players have been missing. That doesn't help. But we have been performing well in all aspects, and he is disappointed that maybe other teams that score less are now scoring more than us right now, and his players deserve a lot better. At the same time, he said that we have to be more clinical, which everyone obviously knows. And in my opinion, the first goal is always key. And I just feel at times that we don't do enough to really get the first goal. And when we do get the first goal, we always fall off. We don't keep that momentum. We don't look to quickly get the second goal. That's what all the top teams do. That's how you really control the game in the Premier League in particular. And I don't care that the data shows us doing things right. The game on the field shows me most of the times that opposition teams don't really feel too much threat or fear from us. And I think that's particularly evident when you watch us. And to end with things, of course, it feels like Pochettino had to give his reasons as to why Conor Gallagher got the captaincy. And sometimes I feel like our online fan base can be a bit ridiculous at times. I get how some of these guys think, you know, Conor Gallagher shouldn't even be here. He's not good enough. Galadog, all he does is runs, that they won't even acknowledge his good form this season. He has been one of our best outfield players, regardless of how you feel about him. And I just feel like it's a bit ridiculous that these guys come with this type of energy sometimes. I think it's very obvious why Pochettino gave him the captaincy. And here's what Poch himself even had to say. It's not a big thing to create a party. He can be a captain. He is from Chelsea, and it is perfect for him to represent the team. At the same time, he explained why guys like Enzo, who is also a natural leader, wasn't given the captaincy, and that's clearly because his grasp of English right now is not perfect. So I think ideally your captain in the field has to communicate effectively throughout the entirety of the team, right? So it only makes sense. And Pochettino has made things very clear, you know, people who have the academy connection. Hence why James got the captaincy. You know, players from this country as well too. Traditionally, most managers end up giving captaincies to these types of players regardless anyway. So it's a bit of a mountain made out of nothing. But anyway, my friends, let's now move on to discussing the predicted lineup for Aston Villa. And you know what, I'm a little bit worried because a part of me is feeling like I'm expecting to see centre-backs playing at left-back. Maybe I might see a left back playing as a left winger. I'm going to continue to see the same football that we've been seeing recently, even though I haven't seen the full utility behind playing this way. Like, I think to myself, trust us, we're the only club where we'll have an abundance of left backs, 3 of them, but then we'll decide to use a centre back at left back instead. And I feel like managers have this thing where they always make you feel like their way of managing is the only way that can lead to success. And I just think to myself sometimes, listen, I can't imagine many other managers not tapping into using fullbacks supporting left wingers, especially when you're noticing over the past 2 games in particular, that left side has got weaker and weaker and weaker, and it's getting less threat. So my friends, in today's lineup, I'm going to be going for an aggressive team. I'm going for a 4-2-3-1. You guys can probably guess what this team's going to be about. In goal, I'm going for Robert Sanchez. I kind of feel like maybe Pochettino is sticking with him at this point in time. And to be honest, he hasn't been too bad. In defense, Gusto, the only option available. Defense, I've gone for Levi Colwill and I've gone for Thiago Silva. I don't think that Disasi's been bad, and I think you could swap Silva and Disasi and it wouldn't make a difference really. But for me, I have to see Colwill dictating play out from the back now. I need to see Colwill's passing ability and passing range utilised. I'm not understanding how he was doing amazing things for Brighton, and now we're restricting his incredible passing by pushing him out wide. It's not working because teams that are worse than you, they're going to make things hard for us to play our game. And I think we're making things harder for ourselves by not utilising the talents we have right. At left back, I have gone for Ben. I think he's the only captain right now. And I think that his supportive runs just make sense alongside a winger. Let's not forget that this guy was constantly being that supportive player in Tuchel's wing-back system. Let's not forget he did the same thing at Leicester City. That's what he made his name on. That's what he's made his bread and butter on, yeah? That's what he is very good at. And I just kind of feel like we're waiting now for a left back and left winger to combine. In midfield, I've gone for Leslie, and that's because I don't know if Caicedo will start the game tomorrow. Who knows? But I'm only basing it based on the team news right now that he's still being assessed. And the other reason why I want Leslie as my DM is because if I want two overlapping fullbacks getting forward past the halfway line, I need my DM behind to mop up the danger, to make that makeshift back three. In midfield alongside him, Gallagher and Enzo. I feel like I should have been respecting Gallagher more this season because he has been one of our best outfield players, regardless of what anyone says. And I think Enzo Fernandez too is just probably like our best all-round midfield player. And I just feel like the difference of using the same midfield that we saw against Bournemouth is that I'm hoping that we have a left back that can push up and help create those triangles with Enzo on the left and a left winger who I'm going to be picking Mykhailo Mudryk. He had the highest expected assist threat in that game, but he just felt very isolated and removed away from play. That was the only disappointing thing. And the fact that we had a left side of Enzo and Mudryk that could barely combine together, it kept telling me that we were losing that battle against Bournemouth. Bournemouth overloaded us down that left-hand side and we paid the price. And I just feel like if there was a more natural left back there to create those triangles, as I'm really stressing, that could have like massive upside benefits for both Enzo, who now won't get marked out the game and can find better positions to receive passes from. And then obviously Mykhailo Mudryk now has a partner in crime because Mudryk has always cooked when he has a left back alongside him. He showed a lot of promise. I think there's a lot more to come from him. I'm not part of this narrative where I'm putting so much pressure and expectation on him. I personally feel like I haven't even seen him play enough games yet. And everything we did last season, in my eyes, just doesn't count. Not only for Mudryk, but for every player, because that was a fake, terrible season. And that's like an anomaly. And I don't use anomalies to like start making my opinions on players. That makes no sense to me. Up front, Nicholas Jackson. Let's hope he's on his best behaviour. Pochettino mentioned that some of the yellow cards that he's picked up are a bit sloppy, you know, arguing with the referee. That's never going to like help you in your favour. And that probably reflects the fact that Jackson feels the pressure. Obviously, it's very hard being a striker for us because a lot of times you don't get the service you want. You can remain isolated. And does this also explain Jackson's mentals in games where he kind of feels that pressure and annoyance? And this is why his head isn't clear when it comes to getting these scoring chances that we've seen him get in the final few minutes of games. We know what Jackson can do, and I kind of feel like if he has people closer towards him because he was so isolated against Bournemouth, I know that Jackson will cook because, listen, it's been a long time since we've seen a striker at this football club that can control the ball, that can run at opponents, that can offer more like variety and multi-dimensional threat. So let's be patient. And on the right hand side, again, one of our other best outfield players this season is going to be Raheem Sterling. I just feel that his game is way better down the right hand side. And 2 goals this season, he's our most reliable goal scoring threat right now. Let's hope that he looks really punish Aston Villa. And I feel like his movement in behind, especially in the right channel, for a team in Villa where they really struggle when it comes to defending against through balls, I'm hoping that we can really play those incisive passes to break through them. So my friends, that is my predicted lineup. Share yours below. And for the prediction, I feel like every game this season I've gone for a win. But surely, I'm going to go for another win again today. And I'm hoping that finally, this will actually be the time that we pick up 3 points now. I feel like if we don't pick up a win against Aston Villa, things start to get very worrying. And then you can really recontextualize everything that's going on right now. And for my prediction, I'm going for a 2-1 win. I feel like it might be a tight game against a pretty dangerous Aston Villa team. So my friends, that is my preview out the way. Share your thoughts and opinions, and on that note, I am the EFC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll see you guys tomorrow with tons of content. Don't miss out.